All right, artists, I'm Kristine Mirelle, and today we're going to be talking about how to write your bio, because you need one, because it's important. Today is exciting because you need a bio, and you've been putting it off because you didn't know what to include. But today, I'm going to tell you, and it's going to be amazing. All right, so number one, you need to include your name, who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about what you sound like. So for me, I'm working on a Spanish project right now. So I'm going to compare my new album to someone like Becky G or Shakira or, someone like that. Now I know a lot of artists are like, I don't sound like anybody. I'm like so unique. We're all unique. Yes, but we all sound like somebody. Even if you have to combine what you sound like maybe you don't sound exactly like Britney Spears, but maybe if Britney Spears and Beyonce had a love baby somehow, even though they're both female, and it was incubated in some sort of incubator and a baby popped out and it was you. That's what I sound like. Okay, that gives someone somewhere to start. Why this is important is, let's say I'm a fan of Shania Twain, for example, and I'm reading blogs and I'm reading all kinds of stuff. I have so many things that I can do, right? And my attention span is like this big. So if I see that, hey, this girl sounds like Shania Twain, I'm gonna go, man, I'm a big Shania Twain fan. I wanna check her out. But if her bio just says, she sounds like just all kinds of crazy stuff that you've never heard before. Well, I have a million options to listen to and watch other videos and songs. So if I don't see something immediately that I like, especially if you're an unknown or independent artist, I'm just gonna move on to the next thing. Let's say you sound like Drake, and I love Drake, and I'm looking at this article and it's like, hey, influencer Drake and whoever else, Usher, and I'm going, man, I'm a huge fan of Drake and Usher. I have to check out this new artist. It's important to describe yourself, guys. It's very, very important for you to have somewhere to start. Now, two, you want to give a little bit about your background, but you don't want to do too much, okay? You don't want to be like, I was born here in a family, I have a brother and a sister, and I really like walks at the beach. The problem is you're going to lose people. So you want to keep it really short and simple. But if you have anything that's very interesting about your life, for myself, I started out for almost 10 years, I used to sell my music on the streets. And I started going door to door when I was 10 years old. I used to sell stuff that I bought from the dollar store, and I would go sell them door to door, knocking on people's doors, and that's how I made money so I could buy myself clothes, which then I bought, studio time, which then I got my CDs printed, and then I started selling my CDs going door to door. So I always tell a little bit about that story, about how I used to sell my music going door to door so that I could, make more money to put back into my music, to work more with producers, and I kind of talk a little bit about that because it's interesting and it's unique. So if there's something interesting about your story, maybe you sold everything that you used to own to move from Atlanta to LA. Maybe you didn't know anybody and you left to New York City and you slept in your car. I mean, I don't know your story, but whatever it is, think about whatever makes you unique. If there's something interesting about where you're from, put that. I'm from Roswell, New Mexico. A lot of people know Roswell as being a place where aliens landed, so I talk about that. Or, if you're talking about your background, write about what's interesting about your background. Or if you're talking about your sound, if you've combined country with Spanish music, that's interesting and that's different than a lot of other artists. So make sure to just always think about that, always be in this mindset of what makes me different and not the same. This is not where you want to fit in. In artistry and entertainment, you don't want to fit in. You want to be your own unique self. Now, three, what are your biggest achievements? Have you won any awards? Have you released a number of albums? Have you done any really cool collaborations with anybody notable? Do you have a big, Instagram following? Anything like that that's cool, you want to put here. Or maybe you play 6 instruments, or maybe you speak 5 languages and recorded an album in 5 languages. I mean, think about anything that would make someone go, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. They must be talented. Or maybe you wrote your entire album, by yourself while you were living in your car, just anything that's kind of notable, something that would make someone go, oh, that's really cool that they did that. 4, media quotes. Let's say that people have reviewed your album. Let's say you've sent it to websites. People have checked it out and they've gone, wow, so-and-so's album is really good. Or, maybe a certain blog has said that your album is the new big thing that's about to happen in 2021 or whatever that is. You want to include that here. It's really, really a great place to put it. Now, if you don't have anything like that, don't sweat it. It's okay. You can totally skip it. But what I did once, which I thought was funny, was I actually just took a picture of myself and I was like, she's the best in the world. And, no other artist can compare because she's the bestest ever that ever lived and everybody else sucks. And then I put dash Kristine's mom. I thought it was funny because obviously a mom would say that. And it didn't really make me look cool. It just made me look like I was fun and lighthearted and that I didn't take myself too seriously. And personally, I like the way that that makes me feel. And I've noticed that when I make other people feel like I'm not taking myself too seriously, they immediately like me more and they immediately, you know, whatever I'm trying to do, whether it's trying to get my music played or, you know, trying to collaborate or whatever, the moment they like you, they want to be a part of what you're doing. And 5, this is the last one. See how easy this is, guys? We're already at the last one. Just include what you're up to. Are you recording an album? Did you just release a single? Are you about to shoot a music video? Do you have a GoFundMe campaign where you're raising money? Are you on tour? You know, what are you doing? Talk about what you're working on. Talk about when it's coming out, or talk about if you already released it, or talk about, you know, what's going on and what people can expect from you. Not only that, you want to include some links. I do not recommend putting all your links. I've seen people have literally sent me like bios with like this many links of all their music videos and Instagram and MySpace and Friendster and stuff that's not even around anymore. And I'm looking at it going, I'm not going to click on all these links. So what you want to do is you want to include maybe just a couple, less than a handful of like the main links that you would want somebody to look at, right? So if your Instagram is great and you've been taking care of it, and you know that if someone clicks on your Instagram, they're going to get a great idea of who you are and that it represents you well, put your Instagram. But if you have a Facebook and you don't ever check your Facebook and you maybe have like 2 pictures of your dog on there, don't put your Facebook, because what if that's the only link they click on? And when they go to your Facebook, they're like, there's only pictures of this chick's dog. It's not going to represent you very well. So only put the links that you would really want someone to check out. And keep in mind what your purpose is. If you're trying to sell your music, obviously you're going to put your iTunes link. Or if you're just trying to get more streams on Spotify, you're going to put your Spotify link. So keep in mind, what's my end goal? If I'm trying to get more people to follow me on Instagram, I'm just going to put my Instagram there. Many times I've submitted my bio for certain things. I only put one link because there's only one thing that I want to happen right now. I want them to join my mailing list. So I'm just going to put that, join my mailing list. Or I want them to follow me on Instagram. So I'll just put that. It's totally up to you, but keep in mind what your end goal is. Put some time into making this really represent you and make you look awesome. All right, and apart from that, I just released my new PR services where I'm guaranteeing to get artists published on blogs and magazines and websites to get you exposure. I know there's a lot of work where you're working on music and you're like, I just want to work on creating. I don't want to work on, you know, always having to promote myself all the time. Well, that's what I'm doing now. I'm promoting artists and I'm guaranteeing to get you published on blogs and websites and magazines so you can get more fans, more followers, and all that amazing stuff so you can grow your fan base. If you are interested in that, check out the description. All right, guys, I'm Kristine Mirelle. If you would like to subscribe, I'm always posting different how-tos and tutorials on how I created an independent music career for myself, how I've traveled the world, and how I've done music for a living for almost a decade, and how you can too. And if you have any specific questions or any ideas for me to cover any topics, please put them in the comments below. All right, guys, Kristine Mirelle here. I'll see you on the next one.